is an old Oklahoma Joe's. I got this when they went out of business, and I got this thing for half price at Academy. And it's pretty well made. I think the Oklahoma Joe's name is back again, and the designs are similar. This is a good cooker, but it's got problems. After 10 years, it needs some help. The main problem is the firebox. There's a big hole in the bottom, and it's getting worse. With a hole, you can't control the airflow and you can't control your heat. This end is pretty badly rusted too. The damper doesn't even really turn well anymore. The rust goes all the way up here. Similar on this side, but not as bad. The back wall is pretty rusty, but yeah, it's clearly not. Clearly not good. The inside, the cooking chamber is not bad at all. There's really no appreciable rust. Everything's pretty good. Even the bottom down there is greasy but intact. The plan is to cut off the lower half of the firebox and weld on a 5-sided box, basically, or a 4-sided box. One alternative would be just to replace the whole firebox, but I don't think I could get a good one for what I'm willing to pay. This is all 1/8" steel, which is good but not great. I don't think I can get a section of pipe easily. Plus, even if I did, I'd have to do all the fabrication work. So it seems like the easiest route for fabrication is to just make a box, weld that onto the bottom. If it lasts 5 years, I'm happy. I need to cut off as much of this as possible, but I've got to cut it pretty much at the widest point so that I can make a box that's not going to look weird. If I go down too far, then the box is going to be a little more narrow. Going to look weird, but so I got to catch this at, I think, the widest point. The other problem is if I cut along here, then I have to cut this from the inside. It also bolts on, so that's a complication. The door, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the door yet, but I think we'll just start cutting and then we'll see where we are. As best I could with my crappy Harbor Freight level, I was able to make this line. This would be the cut on the other side. Door's off. The side wants to come off. Yeah. Okay, so still need to cut it along the back. I think that's what's holding it on. Okay, she's off. I used a wire wheel to clean up some of the cuts. Mostly this thing's got a decade of soot on it and ash and grease. One of the dirtiest fabrication jobs I've done in a while. This side's higher, this side's lower, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Alright, I got this side cut off. What I believe is pretty much parallel and even with this side. After trimming off a couple different layers, this side I ended up getting right up to the bottom of this bracket, which is a bracket that holds the grill. I used a flat disc to sand off the rust and powder coating as best I could and clean up the edge. The cut all the way around is probably within an 1/8", which is obviously not great by a fine fabrication standpoint, but from a MIG welding perspective for a barbecue, it's probably as close as the original manufacturer of the thing. I'll clean the rust off of here. I probably need to seal it with some phosphoric acid and some paint because it's just a mating surface. It's going to get crap in there, it's going to rust again. I think we're back to where we need to be to basically weld on a 4-sided box. They didn't have a lot of pre-cut steel at the steel yard. I got these 1/8" 2x2 foot panels, diamond plate, and I got a new grate since the new lower part will be bigger. It'll need a slightly bigger grate. Here are the 4 sides so far. One thing I realized is that the diamond plate pieces essentially add a little thickness. So to get the fit up right, I'm gonna have to put the diamond plate on the outside so I can make sure the joints that touch, they're flush. Originally I didn't want to show the diamond plate because it looks cheap, but at least it's real diamond plate and not plastic. Here's the fit up. It fits fairly well. This will be the side that faces the cooking part of the pit, and then the door will go here, however that's going to look. Well, the fit up is pretty good. It's close. I'd say it's within a 1/16 of an inch on each side. Pretty good for government work. I think if we shim it a bit more, it'll snug right up there. The new part's on. It got dark on me, so I'm here with a work light. Probably need to weld it from the inside too. Where the old door was, I just filled it in with the panel. You can see the old piece from the old hinge. And so I just welded on pipes for the new hinges, and I just use rebar. And this is actually the latch from the old door. I reused it and I made a new catch for it. It works out well. I also finally greased these things. One difference, or one interesting thing, the new firebox is considerably heavier than the old one. So the balance of the pit is different. So when you're dragging it around the patio, it tends to flip over towards the firebox side if you're not careful. You got to really like grab the smokestack to make sure it doesn't go too far.
So we rode 35 miles.